All right, guys, we're going to be talking about the dollar CAD today. And dollar CAD, if once again, monthly zones are pretty much my purple zones, and they're pretty much support and resistance. There's really nothing. Well, actually, yeah, there's we popped off that triangle formation, and it created somewhat of a demand. I'll show you what those boxes are right there. Weekly, nothing really show on the weekly. Yeah, we popped out that weekly, and we created demand as well right there, and we're pretty much we're stuck in that area, and we'll break that down right now on the daily chart. And let's go ahead and break this down. So now the yellow zones, anything that has to do with yellow, now they're considered my supply and demand zone. So that's my upper supply, that's my lower demand zone. And let's kind of start breaking this down. I have this little oval shape right there because I forgot to pretty much explain what's going on here. I don't know if you guys haven't noticed, we haven't been able to break off that 4250 area. We pop off, yeah, we have been wicking out, but we really haven't been able to break that on the 4250 on the daily scale, or neither on the 4 hour scale. So I'm gonna break it down on the 4 hour, and that's why there was pretty much a game plan for this going short or going long. And I have this box right there because that's pretty much the as we had previously explained last week, that so the game plan was that I think we stopped right around here. That was right around there. So you know what? We're either gonna have to break that 4170 area to go long, or break that 4050 to go short. And surely enough, we got that 4 hour break below that 4050. And then once we created my pivot, that was my entire stop loss. That entire zone was my stop loss. I think we had actually talked about that. What 139 was going to be my target. Yeah, I could have actually gotten a little bit more, but I already had a precise target on that one, and that pretty much played out a 2-to-1 trade. Let's go. This is pretty much so people that don't know how this works. Uh, Paid out a little bit than 2-to-1, but it's just a 2-to-1 right there. So once we have a game plan, and if everything is matching with what the plan says, then why deviate from it, right? So that was the game plan, and they came right at demand where we had already pretty much we had jotted this down from last week, and look what happened after that. I didn't take that entire pull back up. That was already done deal already. So the next play was that, okay, well, you know what, if for the people that missed out, we were going to come right around this neckline again and start maybe your opportunity to pull down. See, the problem is that as it's going up towards your neckline, it started creating demand, and that I don't like. um, so let's just say, let's let's say that that 4 hour demand zone works, right? Or that support works right there. Well, the most you're going to be able to drop it down to is your 140 140.25 area, or 140.20 area. I mean, that's a wick right there, 140.36 right there. So I'm no longer really, I'm no longer really interested in the shorts. um, I would really need a 4 hour break below your 140 again for me to. I'm sorry, let me go to. I would really need a 4 hour break below your 140 for me to consider going short. If I don't get that, then I'm not interested. Now, um, what if? Well, what if we actually come sooner? You know what? Before I continue with this, let's go ahead and start drawing up the game plan for this week. And the game plan for this week, let's go ahead and raise our bars right there, and that's the bar right there. So we're pretty much stuck within this zone. Let's go ahead and break it down to the 4 hour. And what's happening is that we're stuck right now within this 4 hour zone right there, right? So let's just say price comes into that towards that 4 hour zone, and we start hesitating around that area, right? We start hesitating, and then we get a break. Then yes, we are interested to go short on this one. But once again, How short? Well, now it might just come down towards this pretty much the demand or unfilled orders, or we might just come down towards the next demand zone right there. So you kind of have to, these are more like day trades because your potential, uh, it's not that great, but if you lower it down to a 30-minute zone, you might be able to get it on the breakout with not that much of a stop loss, and you should be able to capitalize more. So what do I mean by that? So let's say, for example, you see your 4-hour zone. Let's go to the 4-hour chart. I'm sorry, 30-minute chart, and that's a zone right there. You know that's a 4-hour zone, right? So let's say, for example, and you know that's your demand right there, right? So you might be able to say, hey, you know what? I like the hesitation right there, but I want to get the breakout, right? So now let's just say you start creating pivots within that area. Well, then it's going to pay out even more now if you wait more on a day trade, because you know now that your maximum, well, then again, you still have to wait how that, you see how, if it doesn't create any demand right there, then we're okay. But if it does create demand, then that's pretty much like a 1.5 to 1. If it doesn't create demand there, then you know you could actually bring it down, and this could easily play maybe a 3 or a 4 to 1 trade on this one. But once again, these are not. This is not a set and forget because of the situation. What kind of movement we created with this pair? Let's go ahead and break it down. Let's take it back up to the 4-hour. So once again, if we actually break it back down, then that's going to be the level of interest right there, or that's going to be the level of interest. Other than that, if what if this 4-hour doesn't break and we can't seem to get a hesitation or your double top or anything where we just can't seem to get a formation right there, and we just rip this level apart? Well, okay, on the 4-hour level, or you remember, if we really, for me to consider going long on this pair, I need a break above 42.50, preferably a daily candle, preferably a 4-hour candle. 4-hour candle, a little bit aggressive. Daily candle, much better. Okay, so let's. And for the reason for that is because once again we talked about that the dailies or the 4 hours can't seem to break above this 42.50. Now, if we actually do break above the 42.50, then the next level already of interest would be right around your 43.75. And if we actually break that level, then we have supply right here, right around your 44.50, 4,500. That's your next level area of supply. Another thing you guys need to be aware of is that we're still currently where 80% of the retail traders are short on this, and which means that if 80% of the retail traders are short, for the people that know how I trade, I try to actually go against the retail traders, which actually makes it much easier. Another thing I might want to add on to this dollar CAD is that all your EMAs are pointing up. So yeah, I'm really more interested on the longs on this. Um, so for me to actually play this, I would want to see how how the unfilled orders right there are going to react. There seems on the lower time frame, there are 40.25. This area here. Let me go ahead and break this down now. Maybe we should be able to see it better on the 2-hour. Let me go ahead and get rid of this. So once again, guys, these are unfilled orders right there. So maybe I'll look at the 40.50 to see how that plays out. If it doesn't play out really well, looking at this entire zone, 40.25, 140. I mean, there's demand zones where you could take this up, and you just got to be careful because remember that your next opposing zone is the 41.50. And typically I would actually get out at that point, wait to see how that's going to react. We'll probably get so we'll go up. Let me get rid of all this junk right here that I actually created before I go up. Let's So we'll start talking about that. Okay, we'll take whatever demand zones are right here. We could take this demand zone or this demand zone, and then we could shoot it up to the 41.50. And then from there, you could, I mean, if you don't like taking any heat, because you should expect somewhat of a heat right there, and wait for the pullback. When it goes up, we typically tend to make demand zones if the trend is going to continue going up, and then from there on, look for your next opposing zone right around your 142, 142.10, 142.25, right around there, that area. Here, let me take a look at I have some other charts right here where 142, yeah, there's supply around the 142.25. So I'll definitely get out right around your 142, 142.25, right around the area. That area there is, I'm looking at my other charts right here. There's an 8-hour supply right around this area. So let's go ahead and bring this down to an 8-hour supply, 8-hour chart. It's not the best looking supply, but it is supply nevertheless. It is supply. So I would, if you really want to play it safe, maybe take it towards the 142, or if you're going to be watching and monitoring this, just wait for any kind of band formations. Um, the only way, once again, the only way I'd be looking to go all out on this is just I need to get a 4-hour candle or a daily candle closing above the 42.50, guys. And that's pretty much it for me, guys, on the dollar cat. I'll see you guys on the next video. Take care.